Poker at Rambo's. When I first moved to Portland, Maine, I didn't know anybody. And I think somebody invited me to a poker night that he was invited to. And he said that the guy who's hosting it went by the name of Rambo. And my first thought was, I don't want to play poker at some guy Rambo's house. Like, I just envisioned something really violent and lots of bloodshed, like the movie. However, I decided to go, and I never played poker before. But it didn't matter. When I showed up on the east side, at 5:30, I walked up to the second floor and opened the door. And there was Rambo, a drink in hand, stirring his ice with his finger, with his fat finger. He's not fat, mind you, but he does have fat hands, and he chews his nails. And he welcomed me and sat down, and I had brought some beer, put some in the fridge. Then more of his friends started to arrive. There was Dave Walker and Derek Walker, two Walkers, Christian Klein, and some others. And we proceeded to play Dan Hahn. And we sat down and played. I didn't win that night. I didn't even come close. But I did learn that I wanted to learn about the game more. And this was just when the World Series of Poker was starting to get more publicity, seeing as though Chris Moneymaker won the gold bracelet. And so I went home that night and was thinking about poker, and next day I ordered a CD on how to play poker, and I watched it. And one of the things that the professional player says, that he wants you to be feared at the table. Well, no one is going to be able to fear me at the table, because apparently I give everything away in terms of my poker face. But I try to fake it at times, and hopefully it works for my benefit. But I started going regularly after that first night on Wednesdays or Thursdays in that little apartment. I looked on the refrigerator, and Rambo had some pictures of him and some friends, and I know that at one point in time, a woman broke his heart. And actually, there were two players at the table that he had both dated Patricia after him. He wanted to hate them, but they were such nice guys that he just couldn't. He did at one point say that he wanted to beat them up, but Rambo's such a softie The reason he got his name Rambo was he was in a fraternity at the University of Maine, Orono, and he was pledging a fraternity, and they all took them out in the woods, and I guess he got tackled or whatever, and he had a headband on because it was hot or something, and one of the brothers, I guess, said, hey, you look like Rambo, and it stuck. And they were all asking me what my nickname was, and I said immediately, Chachi, and they all laughed. And he said, how did you get that? And I said, well, there was a 50s and 60s night at a camp, and I didn't think I was cool enough to be Fonzie, or the Fonz from Happy Days, so I decided just to be Chachi, and it stuck. So after that, everyone started calling me Chach. And it was kind of one of the first times in my life where I felt like I had a group of friends, where I felt like I was included and comfortable, because I could just be myself and say whatever I wanted to say, laugh when I wanted to laugh. There was no judgment. And then we all started to get older and have kids and stuff like that, and Rambo moved off to New Hampshire. Basically was a stepdad to two young boys. And the poker fizzled out. I miss those nights of drinking whiskey and laughing till my gut hurt. I hope at some point in time I'll be able to come back to Portland and see my friends again.